Hello, I am David H. Bro, and I asked the question, what is compassion? It is a question that I've asked over 20,000 people and received over 10,000 responses in a notebook that I carry with myself, and I stand at street corners, currently on a compassion tour. And initially something I started June 3rd, 2009 in Davis, California at the corner of 3rd and C. And it's a lifelong endeavor to bring awareness to compassion, stemming from the exploration of how does one go about exercising one's spirit. In 2008, I had broken up with the person I was going out with and moved into a studio apartment in Oakland, California, and decided to explore internally, who am I and what am I to do? During that period, for about a year and a half, I read a lot of books and watched a lot of YouTube videos about saints, sages, masters, and mystics, and came across a TED Talk by a woman named Karen Armstrong, in which she talks about compassion. After watching that video, I was inspired to explore my own concept of compassion and got a pen and a notepad. Started to write out a concept of compassion over the course of a few days. I was dissatisfied with the process. I decided to go around the community of Lake Merritt in Oakland, California to try to come up with a collective definition. And in doing so, found something to it. I was getting out of the studio apartment I was in. I was engaged with other people in the community about a subject matter that I find to be very important, which is compassion. And it touched me in my heart a little at the time. It was a spark. I came across a couple other influences. John Francis, who also has a TED Talk, and he talks about how he watched two oil barges collide in the Bay Area and decided to walk everywhere, and also found that he wasn't listening to people and decided to be quiet for a day, and that one day eventually lasted 17 years. And at the end of his TED Talk, he encourages others to be an activist for something, and the time to do that is now. After watching that video, I wanted to take action according to something, and at the time I was unable to determine what that is for me. The third influence that put me over the edge was a woman named Peace Pilgrim. Her original name is Mildred Ryder, and she wore a tunic that said Peace Pilgrim across the front, and she walked with a comb, a toothbrush, a pen, and some paper, and decided to walk until given shelter and fast until given food. And I thought, if she can do this for the last 28 years of her life, that's what she did, and walked across the United States 7 times, and visited every capital, went to Canada, parts of Mexico, was able to make it to Alaska and Hawaii in the name of peace with a simple message. And I thought to myself, if she can do this, there's something that I myself, then I was 36, I said there's something, a purpose greater than the things that I was doing prior to that, which wasn't very much, I would say, anything of significant marrow. I decided to surrender. I literally laid on my back for 3 weeks outside of eating, using the restroom, grocery shopping. I cut off a lot of social engagements as far as hanging out, watching television or watching movies, anything like that. And I laid on my back and got into a very quiet place and said, I will do this until I receive something that is undoubtedly the purpose of me being here on this planet. And in that very, 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 very quiet place, that still silent space, something inside of me said to continue asking about compassion. And at that moment, a tremendous ego rose like Godzilla out of the Pacific Ocean and said, no, this is not going to happen. You are ridiculous. You are crazy. You are a fool. You think you can sustain yourself as a human being by asking people to share their concept of compassion in a notebook. You're going to relinquish all the things you've done up to this point and rely on a pen and a notepad and a will. And there was this part of me that said yes, the spirit part of me. And I relinquished a lot of material goods, putting them on a giveaway table in the parking lot of the apartment building. Relinquished a lot of negative thought patterns that were going through my head about who I am and what I thought I knew. And moved to Davis to stay with a friend of mine because I wanted to live with other people, and the finances I was living off of savings was dwindling. And that was May of 2009. I began asking people about compassion on June 3rd, 2009. In Davis, I eventually established the corner of 3rd and C as a place to stand. And over the years, it became known as the Compassion Corner. People came up and shared their concept of compassion. I would ask them to write. In 2011, I was able to put together a compilation book entitled Davis, California, which includes the first 3,000 plus entries of anonymous entries of what people think compassion is. And also I was fortunate enough in 2013 with the help of the community to put together a Compassion Corner Earth Bench that was inaugurated May 31st of 2013, of which I'm grateful for. It's a public art piece in which people can sit and contemplate compassion, if they will. It's a space for healing for some, a place to climb for young children, a place to explore the art that is on there, and a space for peace for those who wish to explore that. I share this story so that it may inspire you to realize that the things that you think, the things that you hear from your heart that you may think are foolish or impossible or out of the ordinary, that sometimes those things that come from the heart are the things that you must follow. It is Joseph Campbell who has said, follow your bliss. Others say, follow your heart. I, David H. Bro, say the same thing, to follow your heart, your heart. I'm grateful to be able to share this story with you of how things came to be, as far as me asking about compassion and the origins of the Compassion Tour, which will end next month in Seattle. And I'm grateful for you, if you've watched this much, that you've done so. Again, I'm grateful